Hello everyone, myself Piti and today we are going to learn blood groups and its classifications. I have divided the chapter in 3 parts. In this session, we are going to learn blood, its composition, types of blood, antibiotics, antigens. So, what do you mean by blood? What is blood? It is a red colored fluid and the red color of blood it is due to the presence of hemoglobin. As what it do is it helps in the transportation of oxygen and nutrients to the cells. It also carries away carbon dioxide and other waste products as it carries oxygen from the lungs. From lungs it transports the oxygen to the heart through blood. Heart pumps the blood to all over the body from our head to the toe and the blood return to the heart to repeat the process, and this process will continue from our birth till the end. Do you know the amount of blood in a human body is? Normally, the amount of blood in a human body differs according to their sizes. But an adult may have about 1.2 to 1.5 gallons or 10 units of blood. And 1 gallon is equal to 4 liters. That means an adult have about 5 liters of blood in his or her body. Do you know that blood is approximately 10% of an adult's weight? That means if an adult may have about 50 kgs of weight, then 5 kgs of weight is only of blood. Isn't it interesting? So, during pregnancy, a woman may have up to 50% more blood. That means if a woman may have about 4 liters of blood, then at the time of pregnancy, she might have about 6 liters of blood in her body. 6 liters. So, what are the main components of blood? Do you have any idea? These are the red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets and plasma. So, what are the red blood cells? The red blood cells carry oxygen around the body. White blood cells. They play a crucial role in the immune system. How? That they produce antibodies. And these antibodies will target an antigen and helps in preventing illness. As what we see in the picture is there is a small structures, these are antigens or antibodies. Here is the red blood cells. On these red blood cells there are some dot like structures, these are antigens. What these antibodies will do is they attack on our red blood cell on these antigens. So what they do is if they found them foreign, they attack on them and kill them. That's why it is essential to match blood types when a person needs a transfusion. At the time of transfusion, it is very essential to match blood types because if the blood type does not match or incompatible, what will happen is these antibodies will start destroying or killing new blood cells, which may lead to very dangerous, the person or the patient may die. Platelets. Platelets enable clotting. As when we get wound, what will happen is the blood starts flowing. If the platelets are not there, what will happen is the blood does not stop flowing and we will die. These are the platelets which helps in clotting the wound. Plasma. Plasma is a yellowish or straw colored liquid as you see in the picture, as there is a polybag in which there is a plasma. It contains proteins and salts. As here in this picture, what we see is there is a tube. In this tube, this is red color. The red color is blood. So what we do is we centrifuge the blood and what we get is yellow part, white part and the red part. The yellow part is plasma, the white part is white blood cells and the red part is red blood cells. So plasma is the portion of blood that remains after red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets and other cellular components. As it is the single largest component of human blood, as it comprises about 55% of the blood. So what it contains? As it contains waters, salts, enzymes, antibodies and proteins. And blood composition is different in different individuals. By the volume, in humans, blood contains or constitute about 45% of RBCs, 54.3% of plasma, 0.7% of white blood cells, and less than 1% of platelets. So, what are the blood types? Our main topic. An individual's blood type depends on the genes which we inherited from our parents, as these genes are responsible for everything, for our skin color, for our hairs, for eyes colors, for our voice tone, everything. All the things are depend on our genes which we inherit from our parents. Similarly, the blood types also depend on the genes which we inherit from our parents. To define the blood types, ABO is the best known system. There are normally some other methods, but ABO is the best and the common method. According to ABO, there are four blood groups as A, B, O and AB. So, antibodies. We denote antibodies as AB. And these are the large or Y-shaped proteins. As we see in the picture that there are some large proteins. These are the proteins. The antibodies also known as immunoglobulins. Why? That they are found in our immune system and helps in preventing illness. So that's why they are called immunoglobulins. It is used by the immune system as they helps in neutralizing or identifying foreign objects like pathogenic bacteria or virus or something else which causes illness. So what they do is, as we see in the picture, there is a red blood cell and some structures are there. These are antigens and this is our antibody. So what antibody do is, these antibodies find the antigens and attack on them or stick to them. And then they if they found that the antigens are pathogenic bacteria, virus or any which cause illness or which is not good for our health, what they do is they start killing them. The antibodies recognize a unique molecule of the pathogen. This pathogen is called an antigen. As you see in the picture, here are the antigens or antibodies. Here is our red blood cell, and on red blood cell there are dot-like structures. These are antigens. What this happen is these antibodies will target these blood cells and stick to these antigens. Antigens. So what are the antigens? Antigens are the molecules. They might be proteins or sugars or genes, anything. Just as in the picture, what we see is there are some blood groups. And on these blood groups, there are some triangles are showing. Some are of yellow color and some are of blue color. The yellow color triangles are of A antigens and the blue color triangles are of B antigens. What will happen is on these antigens, our blood group is defined or depend, as the types and features of antigens can vary between individuals due to small genetic differences. Similarly, like there, as some are yellow and some are of blue. There is a small difference, the structure is the same. Similarly, some other changes are there, some other differences are there, which will cause the blood groups differentiate or dividing the blood groups in different parts. So, I hope you like the session. It's time for a quiz. What is the amount of blood in human body? Tell me that it is 1.2 to 1.5 gallons or 10 units of blood. That means about 5 liters. So what is the function of white blood cells? White blood cells produce antibodies which helps in preventing illness. What do you mean by plasma? It is a stroke colored or yellow colored liquid and comprises about 55% of whole blood. Write the names of blood groups. According to ABO blood group system, there are 4 groups, A, B, O and AB. But according to some other factors, we have 8 blood groups as A positive, A negative, B positive, B negative, O positive, O negative and AB positive, AB negative. So try to tell me these 2 questions answers, as blood types are based on which factors and what are the main components of blood. So do you have any idea? Here are the answers. Hope you enjoy the session. Thank you.